All right. Hi, Ruth. Coming at you with a really late reflection. Sorry. All right. So this is for chapters 1 to 3 in the Beyond Behaviors book. So in chapter 1, in chapter 1 they talk about how adults respond to children's behaviors and how they typically respond versus how they should respond and what would be appropriate. So, actually, you can take these off. So the deeper meaning. So yeah, when adults talk to children, a lot of the times they're talking at them and telling them not to do things and yelling at them for their behaviors and just telling them to stop. But a lot of the time, kids, there's a reason why they're doing that behavior. So it's not like they're just adults think that kids are intentionally not listening and they're just bad kids, but typically it's because they have something going on or some issue either at home or just emotionally they cannot handle it or they don't know how to regulate their emotions, and it needs to be something more either that has to be taught or has to be dealt with in a different manner. That's not just telling them what to do, but more helping them along with the situation, whether it be giving them a fidget or because maybe they just can't stop moving. So if you tell them stop moving, they're just going to get more antsy. But in some form of a fidget or something. Another issue is they think one issue is going to be good for the class. So with classroom management, yes, there's group classroom management, but you're going to have to try different strategies on different kids. If you try one way and it works for one kid, that doesn't mean the other kid's a bad kid and difficult to deal with. That just means that they may have to be taught in a different way or worked with in a different way, which I think is also very important. Because I just think I just think it's important because teachers a lot of the times are taught they use one thing for the whole class and it's a sticker chart or something, but some kids need that extra help, so we should be giving it to them. And then also little kids don't know really how to self-regulate, so they may not be able to just regulate their emotions, so they can't stop if you're just telling them to stop. So it's our job to teach them how to learn how to self-regulate for the long run. And then getting into chapter 2, they talk about the top-down method. So the top-down method is top-down thinking is when students are intentionally thinking, using their brain, and they're conscious about what exactly they're doing. So this is developmentally. They'll get here typically around 5, but it could be later. So as kids get older, they learn that they can have their own thoughts, do their own movements. They're not just doing what their parents tell them to. So as they realize this and they have more control over their body, they're going to start trying to explore and everything. So then the opposite of that is bottom down. So this is a response when kids are young. This is their reflexes, their automatic response. It's usually to safety or threats. So we need to understand the difference between both of them as teachers and where our kids are developmentally. Because if kids are not developmentally at that top-down phase, they're very much not intentionally doing something, or they can't figure out how to regulate their emotions. When top-down, that's when kids are just trying to explore, they're trying to figure things out, so that's when it's our job to set boundaries. But if they're still thinking bottom up, setting boundaries is not going to work because they don't understand that yet. So yeah, we just have to consider developmentally where our kids are at, and why they're doing what they're doing, because there's a bunch of different stages developmentally that kids go through, and if we're trying to teach them stage 5 but they're only at stage 2, we need to teach them stage 2, 3, 4 before we can get to that 5th stage. And with that comes in all the houses, and we have to build those houses for the kids and help them, and we have to teach them where they are and their steps, and so we have to teach them how to regulate their emotions. Yeah, so first we have to teach them how to regulate their emotions, and then how to engage with people and relate with them, and then it goes to the purposeful emotional interactions, and then social problem solving, and then symbols, words, ideas, and so on. But we have to teach them stage by stage, because it's not something that you can start like collecting different skills. It's one skill comes after the other, so you can't teach the first one and then not teach the last one, which this I thought was very interesting, because I feel like I just thought that I never thought of it as like stages. I just thought of it as like, you learn this idea, you learn this idea. And then it gets into the different pathways. So the green, red, and blue pathway. So the green pathway is when the kids are okay, they know what they're doing and everything. And then the red pathway is when they're in fight or flight. So this is when the kids like running away, throwing, hitting, very angry. And then blue is when they shut down. This is when they're just quiet and they refuse to do anything sometimes. These I think are really cool, because this is something we can easily lower the level and teach to our kids to communicate with them. So I can ask them what pathway we're in, or I can look at what pathway they're in, and then I know how to deal with them. So I think this is something that should be taught in all schools, because I think it's very valuable and important for everyone, and can just be something that will benefit everyone and all students and teachers, because I feel like it's something that a lot of people don't know about. But yeah, so that's the first chapter. I'm sure you'll be watching my second video soon. I will see you in that one.